I'd like to welcome you to our park. My name is Joan Heaton. I'm a member of the Board of Directors here at Preferred RV. This is our resort manager, James Horton.
Thank you and welcome this morning.
And we'd like to introduce you to our newest member of our family, our spectacular new retractable pool enclosure.
Well, that sounds pretty exciting, Joan. What is a retractable pool enclosure?
Well, as you can see, it's open at this point. It can be closed partially or all the way. We'll show you after a little bit how this works. The history of it, we started about 2 years ago, thinking about, we had an inflatable cover. And our president of the board at the time asked me and another board member, Bob Liva, to look at the freestanding enclosures.
Right.
And also two of the other board members were researching the inflatables. And we came up with the best idea was the retractable enclosure. I took a trip to Tennessee and looked at another company's enclosure and all of the benefits, and also to Indiana and looked at this enclosure from the Dynadome company. And of course, this is a top of the line, and it was also the best price. So we decided to go ahead and work towards getting the retractable pool enclosure. A fundraising committee was set up. I'm the chair of that fundraising committee for the pool enclosure. And we finally got it this year.
Yes, we did, or that's quite an illusion behind us.
We opened on March 7th. We had many of our volunteers, member volunteers, and our staff helped put the enclosure up. It took us a week. We had an engineer from Dynadome come who supervised the construction, and finally opened on March 7th. We had a fantastic pool party here as a grand opening, March 26th.
I remember that party. Remember it quite well.
James was one of the featured people here. We had a plank spanning the pool, and anyone who would like to try and dunk James got out on the plank with him, or the other employees got out there with styrofoam noodles, or we had the air-filled boxing gloves. They had their choice of weapon. And of course, many people got dunked that day. We just had a wonderful time. We had over 140 people here for the party.
Wow, that's quite an exciting change for the park. You had mentioned the inflatable dome that we had for years, which was the case here at the park. It was the only one in town that really had an all-year option for swimming, and instead of the retractable, the retractable structure we have behind us today, it was a massive inflatable structure that went over the pool, and we would put it up in the late fall, depending on the weather, and we would take it down generally this time of year, depending on the weather. But once that thing went up, because it took about a dozen people half the day to do so, it stayed up for the entire season. And if it got hot the very next day, then everybody baked inside, and kind of the same thing this time of the year. When it came down, if it got cold 2 days later, like I heard we have some cooler weather coming our way soon, then people either couldn't swim or it would be too cold to really enjoy doing so. And I'll let, this will be a good transition to Joan over what are some of the biggest benefits of this. That's probably one of the biggest ones, that it has that instant flexibility, that in less than a minute, one person can open or close this thing all by themselves. So what are some of the other benefits? That's just the beginning explanation of what the benefits are of this versus what we used to have, and versus what all the other parks in town, or most other parks have, which is nothing at all.
Well, when it's closed, there's about 97% UV protection.
That's a lot.
It is. And yet it's very light and airy. You can see through it. With the inflatable, it was very difficult to see through it. You felt enclosed. The windows, we have 14 windows, screened windows here, so when it's closed, you can open the windows. It's still very, very comfortable. Or we can have it all the way open or partially open. And yet on the ends, we have about 6 feet on each end. You're always protected from the sun. So those of you, including myself, who need that sun protection, can have it. And the swimmers who want the direct sun can also have it. The average water temperature here is 85 degrees.
Or better.
Or better. Early mornings, we try to keep it closed until it starts warming up a little. Then we open it up. In the evenings, as it starts cooling off, then we try to close it, keep it closed. That way, the water stays warm, and we have protection from the bats also. Once in a while, when it's open, you have bats coming down at you.
And that's the real reason we got this, just for the bats.
And also it saves on water evaporation, quite a savings. Also, our propane, it's going to be quite a savings on propane.
Yes, we're looking forward to that quite a bit. Well, you've heard what we think about this thing and what we think all the benefits are. How about if we go out and talk to some of the people and see what they think?
Sure, that would be great. Also, I'd like maybe Bob Liva to demonstrate how this opens and closes.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. We'll show you how easy that works.
I love this pool cover. I have been a member here for mid-80s. My husband and I became members. And I couldn't swim in the daytime. I had to wait for the sun to go down because I have lupus, as many other people do. So because of my health, this pool cover is the most wonderful thing that has ever happened at this park. I can be in the shade. I can swim anytime during the day. The cover has the UV rays blocked that I can safely be in the sun. And I'm just very, very happy that we have what we have here.
Yes. Yeah, my name is John Chisholm, and I've been a member here for 1 year. When I first got here, they had like a dome, and it was inflatable, and it was kind of bad because you go in it, and no matter what the weather was, you couldn't really tell. And if it got too hot outside, it got muggy inside. But when they put the retractable enclosure here, I was able to help them put it up, and I've really enjoyed it since it's been up. It's really nice. One person can move it back and forth, and it's nice for sunny days. You can open it up, or in the bad inclement weather, you can go in and swim. And I do a lot of traveling each year. I hit 43 campgrounds last year, and I had pools at some of them, but nothing that's even close to this. It's really a great idea, and I think it's going to be here for a long time, and it's really nice.
Hi, I'm Karen. We've been members here at Preferred for a number of years, and we've been looking forward to the pool enclosure. Now to see it up and running is fabulous. People are enjoying it. We've had so many positive comments about it. This is going to make all the swimming and other activities here at the pool much more enjoyable throughout the year. And so much flexibility as far as having it open and closing it if it's a little cooler or inclement weather, and will be far superior to the domes that we've had in the past with all the humidity that was in there. And this is just going to be especially nice with the consideration that if you don't want to be in the sun, you can get out of the sun or take a break from the sun. And it's going to be a positive thing for this park, and a nice thing for Pahrump, and weather cooperate now, we'll have a wonderful summer coming up, and this is only the first part of April, so many months to look forward to and have a lot of good times.
I'm Bob Lava. I'm a member of the board here at Preferred, and we're quite happy with our new pool enclosure. One thing is that we can adjust it as the people feel it should be or think they need any time of the day. It can be totally locked up at night, so there's no problem overnight with it. And I am going to show you a little bit later here just how this thing works and how easy it is. The old inflatable dome we had was a chore to put up and also take down, so I don't miss that at all.